I'm 102 years old. I'll be dead within weeks, maybe days. The doctors won't say exactly, but I can see it in their eyes when they check my vitals. That look, the one that says, make peace with whatever God you believe in. I'm lying in a nursing home bed, room 247, window facing the parking lot. Do you know how many people have visited me in the last 6 months? 0. Not one person has walked through that door to see me. Not one phone call, not one card, not one flower. And before you start doing the math and thinking, well, she's 102, probably everyone she knows is dead, let me stop you right there. I have 4 children, 11 grandchildren, 6 great-grandchildren, 21 people walking this earth who share my blood, who carry my DNA, who exist because I existed, and not one of them wants to see me before I die. And before you feel sorry for me, don't. Please don't. This isn't a tragedy. This is justice. I did this to myself. I pushed every single person away, one by one, year by year, relationship by relationship, until there was no one left. My name is Margaret, and this is the story of how I became the most successful, most respected, most accomplished woman in my field, and the most alone person I've ever known. I was born in 1922, January 14th. The Great Depression was just beginning. Though nobody knew how bad it would get yet, my father left when I was 7 years old. I remember the day I was sitting at the kitchen table doing homework when he walked past with 2 suitcases. He didn't say goodbye, didn't explain, just looked at me, looked at my mother, and walked out the door. My mother ran after him. I watched through the window as she grabbed his arm, begging him to stay, crying, literally on her knees in the dirt, begging a man not to leave her with a child she couldn't afford to feed. He pulled his arm away and got in a car with another woman. That was the last time I saw him. And you know what I learned that day, watching my mother sob in the dirt. Never beg, never cry, never need anyone, because the moment you need someone, the moment you show weakness, the moment you let someone see you vulnerable, they leave, they always leave. My mother worked 3 jobs after that, seamstress during the day, cleaned offices at night, took in laundry on weekends. I barely saw her. And when I did see her, she was exhausted, broken, defeated. She died when I was 19, worked herself to death, essentially. Heart attack at 43 years old, and at her funeral, you know what I promised myself? I would never be her. I would never be weak. I would never need a man. I would never beg. I would be strong, independent, successful, perfect, because perfect people don't get left. Perfect people don't get left. God, I actually believed that. So I worked, I studied, I excelled at everything. I was the first woman in my college to study law. This was 1940. Women were supposed to be secretaries, teachers, nurses, not lawyers. My professors tried to discourage me. The legal profession isn't for women, Miss Margaret. It's too aggressive, too demanding. Perhaps you'd be better suited for... I graduated top of my class in 1944, passed the bar on my first attempt, started at a firm that didn't want to hire me but couldn't deny my qualifications. I was 22 years old, and I had my first relationship. His name was William. He was kind, gentle, a teacher. He wrote poetry. He wanted to get married, have children, build a life together. He said he loved me, and I ruined it because William wanted me to slow down, to prioritize us, to need him, and I couldn't. I wouldn't. Needing someone meant they could leave, meant they had power over you, meant weakness. So one night in 1945, he took me to dinner, proposed, had a ring and everything, and I said no. I said, William, I don't need a man to complete me. I don't need anyone. I'm fine on my own. He put the ring back in his pocket, and he said something I'll never forget. He said, "You're right, Margaret, you don't need anyone, and one day you'll get exactly what you want, complete independence, and you'll realize too late that independence and loneliness are the same thing." He left. I went back to work. I told myself I won. I was 23 years old, and I had no idea what I'd just done. I met Harold in 1950. I was 28, he was 31. Harold was different from William. He was ambitious, driven, a businessman. He didn't want me to slow down. He matched my pace. We were equals. I thought, partners in success. We married in 1951, small ceremony, practical, no fuss, and then came the children. Dorothy in 1952, Richard in 1954, Patricia in 1956, James in 1958, 4 children in 6 years. And you know what I thought? I thought, I'm not going to be a weak mother. I'm not going to be like my mother, working herself to death for ungrateful children. I'm going to teach my children to be strong, independent, successful. I went back to work 2 weeks after each birth, hired nannies, good ones, professional ones. Other mothers judged me. I'd hear them at school events. The ones I actually attended, which wasn't many, they'd whisper, "Can you believe she went back to work already? Those poor children. What kind of mother?" I called myself a pioneer. I told myself I was showing my daughters they could have careers, showing my sons that women were equals, but the truth I wouldn't admit for 50 years, I was terrified of being needed, terrified of loving them too much, because if I loved them, if I needed them, if I let them in, what if they left? What if I became my mother, destroyed by loss? So I kept them at arm's length. From birth, Dorothy's first word was nanny, not mama, nanny. I told myself it didn't matter. She'd thank me later when she was successful and independent. When Richard was in 2nd grade, he had the lead role in the school play. He was a tree, sounds silly, but he was so proud. He practiced his one line every night for weeks. "I am the oldest tree in the forest." The play was on a Tuesday at 2 p.m. I had a court date, an important case. I told him I'd try to make it. I didn't make it. Harold went. He told me that night that Richard cried after the play, asked where I was, asked if I didn't love him. I said, he needs to learn the world doesn't revolve around him. I was working, providing for this family. He'll understand when he's older. He never understood. He just learned not to expect me. Patricia was the sensitive one, the one who needed the most, who felt everything deeply, and I hated that about her. One day when she was 11, she asked me, "Mommy, why don't you love us like other moms?" And I said, God, I actually said this. I said, "I'm teaching you to be strong, Patricia. Love makes you weak." She was 11 years old. She stopped asking me questions after that. I had rules for my children, strict rules, a grades or punishment, no excuses. I didn't accept anything less than perfection because I didn't accept less than perfection from myself. No crying. I wouldn't tolerate crying. Tears are manipulation, I'd say. Use your words. Be strong. Dorothy came home crying once because a boy pushed her on the playground. She was 7. I sent her to her room until she stopped crying. Told her she could come out when she was ready to be strong. She didn't come out for 4 hours. Harold tried to talk to me. He'd say, "Margaret, they're children. They need softness. They need to know we love them." And I'd say, "I show love by preparing them for reality. The world is harsh. I'm teaching them to survive." What I was really teaching them was that I didn't know how to love. That achievement mattered more than affection. That perfect was more important than present. By the 1970s, our house was immaculate. My career was thriving. My children were getting straight A's, and we were all miserable. Harold tried for 24 years. 24 years of marriage, trying to reach me, trying to get me to soften, to be present, to be human. In 1975, he finally broke. We were at dinner. The kids were teenagers by then. Dorothy was 23, already graduated from medical school. Richard was 21, in art school, which I hated. Patricia was 19, struggling. James was 17. Harold said, "Margaret, our children are terrified of you." I said, "Good. Fear breeds excellence." He put down his fork, looked at me like he'd never seen me before. He said, "I don't think I've ever really known you. You won't let anyone in. You won't let anyone see you. You won't let anyone love you. And I can't do this anymore," I said. "Then don't." He filed for divorce. 2 weeks later, I didn't fight it. I told myself I was better off alone. The children stayed with him mostly. I had them every other weekend. They'd come, silent and uncomfortable. We'd sit in my pristine apartment, nothing out of place, nothing warm, nothing lived in. I'd ask about school. They'd give one-word answers. I'd criticize their choices, their grades, their friends, because that's what I thought parenting was. They'd leave on Sunday evening, and I'd feel relieved. That should have told me something. Dorothy was the first to cut me off completely. She became a doctor, like I'd pushed her to be. Top of her class at Johns Hopkins. I was proud. I told her so, but I also told her she could do better, could specialize, could aim higher. Nothing was ever enough. In 1978, she got engaged. His name was Michael. Nice man, accountant, stable, good family. She invited me to lunch to tell me. I could see she was nervous, happy, but nervous. She showed me the ring, told me about the proposal, told me about their plans, and I said, "You're settling," she said. "What?" I said. "You're settling. You're a doctor. You could marry a surgeon, a specialist, someone at your level. This man is fine, but you could do better." She stared at me, and then she said, "Nothing I do will ever be good enough for you, will it?" I said, "I just want what's best for you." She said, "No, you want what makes you look best. You want me to be perfect so you can take credit for it." I said, "That's ridiculous. I've sacrificed everything for you children. My time, She cut me off. "You didn't sacrifice anything, Mother. You chose work over us every single time, and now you want to choose my husband, control my life. No, I'm done." She uninvited me to the wedding, sent a letter. "Your presence would make my wedding day stressful rather than joyful. Please respect my decision." I didn't go. I told myself she was being dramatic. Ungrateful. We didn't speak for 12 years. In 1990, she sent me one letter, just one. It said, "Mother, I have 2 daughters now, your granddaughters, though you've never asked about them. I'm raising them differently than you raised me. I hug them. I tell them I love them. I let them cry. I let them be human. You taught me to be strong by making me feel weak my entire childhood, and I swore my daughters would never feel what I felt. They'll never know you. That's the kindest gift I can give them." That letter is in a drawer somewhere. I never responded. Richard was the next to go. My son, my artistic, sensitive, emotional son. He majored in fine arts, painting. I was furious. I told him it was a waste of his intelligence, that he should study something practical, law, medicine, business, something that mattered. He said, "Art matters to me." I said, "Art is a hobby, Richard, not a career." He graduated in 1976 anyway, with honors. He got into a prestigious MFA program, started painting seriously, even started selling some pieces. In 1982, he had his first solo gallery show in New York, invited me, sent a handwritten invitation. "Mother, I know you don't approve of my choices, but this is important to me. It would mean everything if you came." I didn't go. I was busy with a case. That's what I told him. But the truth, I didn't want to validate his hobby. I thought if I refused to support it, he'd eventually give up and do something real. He called me after the show, said, "You know what, Mom? The show was amazing. Sold 8 paintings, got interest from a major gallery. And you know what the best part was?" I said, "What?" He said, "You weren't there to tell me it wasn't good enough." That was 1982. We spoke maybe 5 times between 1982 and 2010. Short calls, holidays, obligatory. I learned he got married from a Facebook post in 2010. I wasn't invited to the wedding. I found out I had 3 grandchildren when I saw their pictures online. He lives in Seattle now, I think. He blocked me on social media in 2015. Patricia broke my heart, though I didn't realize I still had one to break. My middle child, my sensitive, emotional, struggling Patricia. She was always different, anxious, scared. She felt everything so deeply, every criticism, every harsh word, every disappointed look. She absorbed it all. By her 20s, she was barely functioning. Anxiety, depression, couldn't hold a job, couldn't maintain relationships. In 1988, she came to me. She was 32 years old. She sat in my living room and she said, "Mom, I need help. I'm not okay. I haven't been okay for a long time." She was crying, shaking, clearly in pain. And you know what I said? I said, "Patricia, you're weak. Just like my mother was weak. You need to get yourself together. You're an adult. Pull yourself together." She said, "I've tried. I can't. I need therapy. I need medication maybe. I cut her off. "What you need is discipline. What you need is to stop feeling sorry for yourself. I didn't raise you to be a victim." She left, didn't say anything else, just left. 2 weeks later, Harold called me. Patricia had tried to kill herself. Pills. Her roommate found her in time. She was in the hospital, he said. The doctors want to talk to family, to understand her mental state. They asked about her childhood, about her mother. I went to the hospital. Not because I felt guilty, because I thought the doctors were wrong, thought I could set them straight. Patricia's therapist pulled me aside. "Young woman, very serious," she said. "Mrs. Margaret, your daughter has been in significant pain for most of her life. She's developed coping mechanisms, defense mechanisms, survival mechanisms. But underneath all of that is a little girl who just wanted her mother to tell her she was enough, that she was loved, that she didn't need to be perfect to deserve affection." I said, "I gave her everything, education, opportunities, discipline." The therapist cut me off. "Your daughter needed a mother. You gave her a judge, and now she's judging herself so harshly. She'd rather die than keep living with that voice in her head, that voice that sounds suspiciously like yours." I left the hospital. Didn't visit Patricia again. She moved to Oregon in 1989, changed her phone number, cut off all contact. I got one letter from her in 2003. It said, "I forgive you because my therapist says I need to for my own healing, but forgiveness doesn't mean relationship. I can't have you in my life and also have peace. I choose peace. Please don't contact me again." I haven't heard from her since. James was the last one standing, my youngest, my baby, though I never called him that. Never called any of them that. James tried the longest. He called every few months, visited a few times a year, sent cards, tried. He got married in 2001. I was invited. I went, sat in the back, left right after the ceremony, didn't go to the reception. I told him I had a flight to catch. I didn't have a flight. He had 3 children. Twin girls in 2003, a boy in 2005. In 2006, he started bringing them to visit. Every few months, he'd drive 3 hours with 3 small children to see me. I didn't know how to be a grandmother, didn't know how to be soft, how to get on the floor and play, how to bake cookies and read stories. I'd sit in my chair and watch them play, correct their grammar, tell them not to touch things, keep them at a distance. James would try to get me to engage. "Mom, don't you want to hold them? Talk to them. They're your grandchildren," I'd say. "They're fine. They don't need me hovering." The truth? I was terrified. Terrified of loving them and having them leave. terrified of softening and getting hurt. So I stayed hard, cold, distant. The final straw came in 2008. James brought the kids over. The twins were 5. The boy was 3. The little boy, his name is Christopher, was drinking juice, apple juice. In my white living room, on my white carpet, I told James, he shouldn't have that in here. The carpet. Christopher tripped, spilled the entire cup, bright red cranberry juice, all over my white carpet, and I lost it. I yelled at a 3-year-old child, screamed at him, "Look what you've done. Do you know how much this carpet cost? Why can't you be more careful? Why can't any of you just..." James picked up Christopher, who was sobbing, picked up the twins, started putting on their coats. I said, "Where are you going?" "We haven't finished visiting." He turned around, and his face, I'll never forget his face. He looked at me with such sadness, such pity. He said, "This is why we're all broken, Mom. This is why Dorothy won't speak to you, why Richard moved across the country, why Patricia tried to kill herself. This is why." I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." He said, "None of us were ever good enough. Nothing we did was ever right. We couldn't spill juice, couldn't get a minuses, couldn't cry, couldn't be human. And now you're doing it to my children. You just screamed at a 3-year-old for an accident. That's who you are. And I can't let you do to them what you did to us." I said, "So don't come back." He said, "Okay, I won't," and he didn't. That was 16 years ago. I haven't seen him since. Haven't met the 2 children he had after that. Don't know what they look like, what they sound like, what they dream about. He sent me one email in 2015. It said, "Mom, I forgive you. I really do. I've done a lot of therapy, a lot of healing, and I understand now that hurt people hurt people. You were hurt and you hurt us. I forgive that. But I also can't have you in my life. For my own health, for my children's safety. I hope you understand. I hope you find peace." I deleted it. Told myself he was dramatic, ungrateful, just like the others. By the 1990s, I was at the peak of my career, senior partner at one of the most prestigious law firms in the country. Awards, recognition, speaking engagements, magazine profiles, Margaret Hartwell, the woman who shattered glass ceilings. I had everything I'd worked for, everything I'd sacrificed for, everything I'd thought would make me happy. And I felt nothing. I'd go to award ceremonies alone, stand on stage, accept a trophy, make a speech about hard work and dedication. Everyone would applaud. I'd go home to my empty apartment. My retirement party in 2005, I was 83, was attended by hundreds of people, colleagues, judges, other attorneys, people who respected me, admired me, 0 family members. One of my colleagues, a man named Thomas, came up to me at the party. He was younger, maybe 60. He said, "Margaret, you're the most impressive woman I've ever met. Your career, your accomplishments, legendary." He paused. Then he said, "But I've worked with you for 30 years, and I don't think I've ever seen you smile. Not really smile." I didn't know what to say to that. After I retired, the emptiness got worse, because at least work had been a distraction. At least at work, I had purpose, goals, things to achieve. At home, alone, nothing. I'd watch my neighbors, families visiting, grandchildren running around, holiday gatherings, birthday parties. I had pictures of my children from the 1970s, 4 young faces, frozen in time. I didn't know what they looked like now, didn't know if they were happy, didn't know their favorite foods or their hobbies or their fears. I realized one day that I could pass my own children on the street and not recognize them. That should have broken me. It didn't. Not yet. Around 2010, I tried to reconnect. I found Dorothy on Facebook. She was 58, a successful cardiologist, beautiful. She looked happy in her pictures. Husband, 2 daughters, both grown, 3 grandchildren of her own. I sent her a message. "Dorothy, it's your mother. I'm getting older. I'm 88 now. Perhaps we should talk. I'd like to see you." She responded 2 days later. I needed a mother 40 years ago, when I was crying in my room, when I was struggling in medical school, when I had my first child and didn't know what I was doing. I don't need one now. I've built a life without you, a good life. My daughters have never met you. They don't need to. Please don't contact us again. I tried Richard next, found his email through his gallery website. Richard, I saw your work online. You've done well for yourself. I'm proud of you. Perhaps we could meet for coffee sometime. He didn't respond. 2 weeks later, I got an email from his wife, someone I'd never met, Mrs. Hartwell. Richard has asked me to respond to your email. He appreciates the acknowledgement, but he's not interested in reconnecting. He's worked very hard to heal from his childhood and has built a life he's proud of. He asks that you respect his boundaries and not contact him again. Patricia. I didn't even try. I knew better. James was my last hope. I called his number. I still had it from years ago. Miraculously, it was still his. He answered. Hello? I said, James, it's your mother. Silence. Then, what do you want? I said, I'm old, I'm alone, I'd like to see you, see your children, make amends, perhaps. He sighed. Long, tired sigh. He said, Mom, I've forgiven you, I really have. But that doesn't mean I can have you in my life. You hurt us deeply. And I have children now. I can't expose them to someone who yells at 3-year-olds for spilling juice. I can't risk them feeling what we felt. I said, I've changed. He said, Have you? Have you really? Or are you just scared of dying alone? I didn't answer, because he was right. He said, I hope you find peace, Mom. I really do. But I can't be the one to give it to you. Goodbye. That was 2011. I haven't spoken to any of my children since. In 2015, I fell. I was 93, living alone in my apartment, proud of my independence. Still, I was getting out of the shower, slipped, broke my hip. I laid on that bathroom floor for 11 hours in pain, alone, screaming for help that didn't come. Finally, my neighbor, a woman I'd never spoken to beyond brief hellos, heard me. She had a key for emergencies. She found me, called an ambulance. At the hospital, they asked for my emergency contact. I didn't have one. They asked if there was family they should call. I said no. The doctor said, Ma'am, you can't live alone anymore. You need care. Is there anyone who can help you? I said, no, there's no one. He looked at me with pity. This young doctor, probably 40 years old, looking at me like I was the saddest thing he'd ever seen. He said, we can help you find a facility, a nursing home, somewhere with staff, somewhere safe. I said, fine, whatever you think is best. Like I had a choice. In 2018, I moved to Sunset Valley Care Home, room 247, 3rd floor, window facing the parking lot. This is where I'll die. I know that. Everyone here knows that. This is the last stop. At first I told myself it was temporary, that I'd get stronger, that I'd go back to my apartment, back to my life. But there is no life. There never was. Just existing, just achieving, just proving I didn't need anyone. And here in this room, I have all the proof I need. I watch the other residents. I watch their families visit. Mrs. Chen in room 239. Her daughter comes every Sunday, brings soup, sits for hours. They laugh together, hold hands. Mr. Peterson in room 251. His grandchildren visit every holiday. They bring drawings, homemade cards. They climb on his lap, kiss his cheek. There's a woman in room 245. She has Alzheimer's, doesn't remember her own name most days, but her family still comes every single day. They sit with her, talk to her, love her, even though she doesn't know who they are. And me? Room 247, no visitors, not one, not ever. The nurses know. They try to be kind about it. There's one nurse, Rebecca, young woman, maybe 30. She's the kindest person I've ever met. She asks me about my family. I lie. I say they're busy. They live far away. They call sometimes. She knows I'm lying. One day, this was about a year ago, she was changing my sheets, and she said, very gently, Mrs. Margaret, I've worked here for 10 years. I've never seen anyone visit you. Not once. I didn't say anything, she said. That must be very lonely. And God, I started crying. First time I'd cried in 40 years, just broke down. This tough, hard, successful woman crying like a child. Rebecca sat on the edge of my bed, put her hand on mine, didn't say anything, just sat there. When I could finally speak, I said, I have 4 children. They hate me. They should hate me, she said. It's not too late. You could call them. You could try. I said, it is too late. I destroyed them one by one, and they're better off without me, she said. Maybe, but are you better off without them? I had no answer for that. In 2020, I tried one more time. I wrote letters to all 4 of my children. I spent weeks on them, writing, rewriting, trying to find the right words. Dear Dorothy, I'm sorry I was wrong about everything. I love you. I always loved you. I just didn't know how to show it. Dear Richard, your art is beautiful. You were right to pursue it. I was wrong. I'm proud of you. Dear Patricia, you weren't weak, you were sensitive, and I broke that in you. I'm sorry. Dear James, you're a good father, better than I ever was. I'm sorry for what I did to Christopher. I'm sorry for everything. I mailed them, waited. Dorothy's came back unopened. Returned to sender. Richard's, no response. Nothing, Patricia's. I got a letter from her therapist. Mrs. Hartwell, I'm writing on behalf of my client, Patricia. She's asked me to inform you that contact from you is harmful to her mental health and recovery. Please do not contact her again. Any further contact will be considered harassment. James. Called, I couldn't believe it. He actually called, I answered, shaking. James, he said, I got your letter. I said, and? He said, and I meant what I said before. I forgive you, I really do. But forgiveness doesn't mean relationship. I can't have you in my life. I can't risk my children around you. I can't risk myself around you. I said, James, please, I'm dying. I just want to see you once more. Just once. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, you were dying to me a long time ago, Mom. I've already mourned you. I'm sorry you're alone. I really am, but that's not my responsibility to fix. Goodbye. That was the last time I spoke to any of them. In 2021, Harold died. I found out from the obituary. Someone at the nursing home showed me the newspaper. Harold Hartwell, age 92, passed peacefully surrounded by family. There was a picture. Harold, older but smiling, surrounded by people, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, all of them, my children, my grandchildren, people I'd never met, and next to him a woman, his second wife. He remarried in 1978. She was in the picture, holding his hand. The obituary said, beloved husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather, he will be deeply missed. I looked at that picture for hours. At my children's faces. They looked happy, they looked loved, and I realized she gave them what I couldn't. This woman, this stranger. She was the grandmother my children needed, the mother-in-law, the great-grandmother. She got to love my family, and they loved her back. I went to the funeral, sat in the very back. Nobody noticed me. Nobody recognized me. I watched them cry. Watch them hug each other, watch them share stories, laugh through tears. James spoke. He talked about what a wonderful father Harold was, how patient, how kind, how present. He said, my father taught me that showing up is the most important thing, that love is a verb, that success means nothing if you have no one to share it with. He was talking about Harold, but he was also talking about me. About what I wasn't. After the funeral, I tried to talk to Dorothy. She was standing by the exit. I said, Dorothy. She turned, looked at me, no recognition, then nothing. Her face went blank. She said, what are you doing here? I said, he was my ex-husband. I wanted to pay my respects. She said, you paid them. Now leave. I said, Dorothy, please, I know I was a terrible mother. I know I failed you, but I'm dying. I'm alone. I just want... She cut me off. You want what? Forgiveness? Absolution? You want me to make you feel better about the choices you made? I didn't answer. She said, "You weren't at my wedding. You weren't there when my daughters were born. You weren't there for any of it. And now you want me to be there for you? No, you made your choices. Now live with them, or die with them. I don't care which." She walked away. That was the last time I saw any of them. So here I am, room 247, dying. The cancer started in my lungs 2 years ago. It's spread now. Bones, liver, everywhere. The doctors say I have weeks, maybe less. They asked if there's anyone they should call. Anyone who should know? I said no. Rebecca still checks on me. More than she needs to. She holds my hand sometimes. Sits with me. She's not family, but she's here. Which is more than my actual family ever was, because I never let them be. I lie here at night and I think about all of it. Every choice, every moment. Every time I chose pride over love, control over connection, perfection over presence. And I make a list in my head. The regret list. I never hugged my children without also criticizing something. I never said, "I love you," without conditions. I love you, but you could do better. I love you, but why didn't you? I never asked them about their dreams, only their achievements. I never let them see me cry, see me vulnerable, see me human. I thought that was strength. It was just fear. I taught them to be strong by breaking them. One by one, I remember specific moments. They haunt me. Dorothy's 8th birthday. I missed it. I had a deposition. She cried when I came home late. I told her to stop being dramatic. Richard's first painting. He was 12. He showed it to me. So proud. I said, "This is nice." "But don't you have homework to do?" Patricia asking me. "Do you love me?" She was 9, I said. "Love is earned, Patricia. Love is for people who deserve it." James hugging me. He was 5. He wrapped his little arms around me and said, "I love you, Mommy." I stood there, stiff, uncomfortable, waiting for him to let go. I never hugged back. I can't remember the last time I held any of them. Really held them. Not a brief, awkward side hug, a real embrace. I don't think I ever did. I look around this room, at my possessions, the things I fought so hard to have, awards collecting dust, my law degree on the wall, certificates of achievement, newspaper clippings, Margaret Hartwell, pioneer, trailblazer, success. I have everything I worked for, and it means absolutely nothing. I'd trade every award, every achievement, every dollar for one afternoon with my grandchildren, one real conversation with my children, one moment where they looked at me with love instead of pain. But that's not how life works. You don't get do-overs. Time doesn't go backwards. I made my choices. They're making theirs. And their choice is to stay away. I deserve that. If you're watching this and you have children, stop what you're doing right now. Stop scrolling. Stop multitasking. Stop whatever is so important that you think can wait and ask yourself, when was the last time you told them you love them? Not, "I'm proud of your grades." Not, "Good job on that achievement." Not, "You did well," but just, "I love you." No conditions, no qualifications, no buts. When was the last time you hugged them? Really hugged them? Not a quick squeeze on the way out the door, a real embrace, long enough to feel their heartbeat. When was the last time you asked them how they're really doing? Not how was school or how was work, but how are you? What are you scared of? What are you dreaming about? What do you need? Do you even know their favorite color? Their biggest fear? What keeps them up at night? I didn't know my own children. I knew their grades, their achievements, their failures. But I didn't know them, and now I never will. If you're making the same mistakes I made, stop right now. Stop. If you criticize more than you compliment, stop. If you set standards they can never meet, stop. If you think showing emotion is weakness, you're wrong. If you think love needs to be earned, you're destroying them. If you believe that being tough prepares them for the world, you're just pushing them away. The world will be hard enough. Home should be soft, you should be soft, you should be safe. I thought I was preparing my children for reality. I thought I was making them strong. I was just making them afraid to need people, afraid to show weakness, afraid to love fully, because I taught them that love comes with conditions, with criticism, with pain, and now they're all broken in different ways. Dorothy, who can't trust anyone fully, Richard, who had to move across the country to feel safe, Patricia, who tried to end her life because she internalized my voice telling her she wasn't enough, James, who had to cut me out completely to protect his own children. I did that, not the world, me. And if you're watching this and you've been pushed away by a parent like me, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you to forgive them. That's your choice, your healing, your journey. But I can tell you this, some of us die with regret so heavy it crushes us. Some of us realize too late what we destroyed. Some of us would give everything, every achievement, every award, every ounce of pride for one more chance, but we don't get that chance because you're protecting yourselves, as you should. I don't blame my children for staying away. They're healthier without me. Their children are safer without me. That's the price I'm paying, and it's fair. But here's what I want you to know, and this is important. You can choose differently with your own children. Don't repeat the cycle. Don't pass on the wounds. Don't make them earn love. Don't make them perfect to deserve affection. Be the parent I should have been, the grandparent I'll never be. Break the pattern. Choose softness. Choose presence. Choose love. Because one day you'll be old and you'll look back at your life, and the only thing that will matter is the people you loved and who loved you back. Not your job title, not your bank account, not your achievements, just love. And if you pushed everyone away like I did, you'll have nothing. Just regret, just silence, just a nursing home room with no visitors. Don't be me, please, don't be me. I thought I was strong. That's what I told myself for 102 years. I'm strong, I'm independent, I don't need anyone. But I wasn't strong. I was terrified of being like my mother, terrified of being weak, terrified of needing someone and having them leave. So I left first. Every time I pushed them away before they could leave me. I was so afraid of being abandoned that I abandoned them. My husband, my children, everyone who tried to love me, I built walls so high nobody could climb them. And then I wondered why I was alone inside. If I could go back, God, if I could go back, I'd hold Dorothy when she cried instead of sending her to her room. I'd go to Richard's art shows and tell him I'm proud, every single one. I'd listen to Patricia, really listen, and tell her she's not weak. She's brave for feeling so deeply. I'd let James's son spill juice on every carpet in my house. I'd clean it up with him, laugh about it, make it a memory instead of a trauma. I'd be human, flawed, vulnerable, real. I'd choose love over pride every single time. But I can't go back. Time doesn't work that way. I'm 102 years old. The cancer is everywhere. My bones, my lungs, my liver, everywhere. Rebecca says I have maybe a week, maybe less. The pain is getting worse. They're increasing my morphine when I die, probably in this bed, probably alone. There will be no funeral, nobody to mourn, nobody to cry, nobody to remember. My obituary will say, Margaret Hartwell, 102, passed away, survived by 4 children, 11 grandchildren, 6 great-grandchildren. But that's a lie. I'm not survived by anyone because they're not surviving me. They survived me. They survived my parenting, my coldness, my impossible standards. They're better off, and I'm alone, and I deserve it. But your family doesn't deserve to lose you the way mine lost me. Don't waste 102 years figuring this out. Don't push everyone away because you're afraid. Don't choose pride over people. Don't make my mistakes. Go to them. Now. Today. While you still can. Hug them, tell them you love them. Let them be imperfect. Let yourself be imperfect. Choose connection, choose softness, choose them before it's too late. I'm 102 years old. I'm dying alone, and I deserve it. But you don't have to. Go. Right now. Put down your phone, turn off your computer. Go find the people you love and tell them before you end up like me. Room 247. No visitors, no flowers, no love, just regret. Don't waste your life. Please don't waste your life.
Margaret Hartwell passed away on October 3, 2024, at 3:47 a.m. Alone in room 247. No one claimed her body for 6 weeks. She was cremated. Her ashes remain in storage at Sunset Valley Care Home. No one has come to collect them. If this made you feel something, don't just scroll past. Do something about it. Call someone, hug someone, choose love while you still can.